Okay, things have stopped again for us, so I assume Yune has an interjection before we go meet up with everybody.
You're awfully happy, Eltcreed.
Why, naturally. Isn't everyone?
We don't know for sure yet if we'll be able to see them, do we? Celebration might be premature. Still, I know how you feel. I'm concerned about Finn myself.
Huh? What did I miss in the last 2 years? You're concerned about Finn. I mean, I know you guys are the last duo to be put together, but why? Thank you, Cyrus. She's like, also, huh? Really?
Yes. I worry he's suffering from deprivation.
Deprivation? I know exactly what you mean. Huh? What's he talking about? Sir Ines, I see you're nodding along too. Am I the only one who doesn't get it?
It certainly seems that way.
Finn's not even here to defend himself. And he couldn't, even if he was here. Aww. Saint Yune, please tell me what you mean.
I don't think I should. It's not as if I know the man inside and out, and there's a chance I could be wrong.
But...
Don't make that face. You'll understand when you see him.
No, she won't. Have you guys met Cyrus? No, she won't. Alright. We'll skip ahead until that moment happens. There we go. Hello, Finn. Your turn is coming up so soon.
Cyrus, it's been so long. I'm glad to see you're well.
You too, Finn. You look the same as ever. Say, Yune, he doesn't seem deprived at all.
I wonder... Deprived? What do you mean? Deprived of Cyrus. You've been separated for so long, I was worried you might be starting to lose it. Of course I wasn't starting to...
He already did.
He already did.
I love that all the guys are just like, we're against Finn. The only thing we agree on is that Finn's got issues.
I did not! I've set a perfect example this whole time. That's right, a perfect example of depression. Even I could pick up on it.
I know how it sounds coming from me, but you could try to get along a little better with everyone. Stop being so difficult all the time. Damn. When Ulrik tells you to stop being difficult with everyone, you know you hecked up. Finn.
I am trying. I'm doing the best I can. I mean it. I really mean it.
I know. You're in a strange new environment. I'm not surprised it would take a toll on you.
Yes, that's exactly right. I knew you would understand, Cyrus. It's so good to see you again. What? You know, spoiling him like that is precisely why he gets this way.
Yes, exactly that. It's not good for his development.
Shut up. I am a little worried about Finn's condition deteriorating any further, but at least he seems to be enjoying himself.
What do you mean, enjoying himself? I'm worried your eyes are finally starting to fail after all these years, if you really think that.
I wouldn't mind. It would be a sign that time is catching up with me.
Uh-oh, King Jereme looks so confused. This is my favorite meetup ever. I'm so happy I was here for this. Saint Yune, maybe we should...
Right. We'll save the personal discussions for later.
Delightful. Yes, Jevite, I was enjoying it too. That was excellent. Most excellent indeed. Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Alright, well, time to say goodbye again, Finn.
But we were finally all back together.
I couldn't help but smile at Finn, who seemed much more dejected than me. Strange that, isn't it? Don't feel down. We'll be back together in no time.
That's right. For better or worse, we're not involved in any of this.
Leaving Finn and the others behind, we made our way down the hall to the common area. Maybe it was the guards at our side, or maybe everyone was having trouble processing the situation, but no one said another word. Not even one word. Alright, then we shall skip ahead again. And these two butts continuously trying to derail my playthroughs, honestly. The rudest of the rude. And then Jereme also trying to swing in from my heart. Alright, I will bring you in when something changes. Alright, and we have arrived at our next choice. So, we all know how St. Yune feels about his name being used. I really like the name Fogbridge. Out of all these names, Fogbridge just sounds kind of cool. And apparently Yune agrees, so... Hey! What about Fogbridge? I'm worried that naming it after someone will just cause problems.
Fogbridge, huh? It's straightforward and simple. I like it.
I think it sounds rather uninspired, but I suppose it's a question of taste.
Well, it's a good thing it's not up to you, eh, Eltcreed? Alright. Thank you, Yune. I almost said I'll bring you guys in when something changes, but something changed right now.
We should proceed carefully so we don't cause any more trouble for this country. Even though I'd much rather they just throw us out as soon as possible.
Are you eager to return to the Heights?
That's difficult to answer. I'm sure the temple is anxious for me to come back, but, well, personally speaking, it makes little difference. My movement will be restricted no matter where I go. Except for the heat and the humidity, this place isn't really any different from the Heights. I suppose I'm not in any hurry. I probably won't have a chance to come back here once we leave.
I'm sure that's not true.
It is, unfortunately. I hope that doesn't upset anyone. The depths are one thing. They're right below the Heights, but this place is much, much farther away. If I'm gone too long, the people will start to worry. They probably already are. This is going to be my one and only trip. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay here, but I intend to enjoy it until the last moment, so that I can hold it in my heart forever.
Oh, Yune, that makes me sad. Poor Yune. Rumors spread like wildfire. Even though no official announcement had been made, the names of the two kings were on the lips of everyone in the city. So I went to the fountain. Are we... Okay. I was just like, why are we stopped here? But at the end of the day, rumors are just that. They grow and take on lives of their own. Removed from the truth, bubbling up in stagnation before disappearing like foam.
I see. It seems that word of the situation with King Jevite has reached town.
Yes. Even though it's a ridiculous mashup of rumors that bears almost no resemblance to the truth.
Still, I find it incredible that any information was leaked at all. Gag orders in the Heights are very strict. Well, they were at least. I should be speaking in past tense. I'm still getting used to this new way of doing things. It's sad to see a rift form between two brothers like that. I can't say for sure what happened, but I suspect it had to do with competition for the throne. But that just makes it sadder. That is why I don't ever want to be in charge.
I mean, I guess you weren't really in charge. You were more of a figurehead. Oh, poor Yune. What are you talking about, St. Yune?
Of course I have some influence, but for better or worse, I'm just another puppet of the powers that be, no different from anyone else. I realize I probably shouldn't be talking like this to someone from the Heights, but I'm just an ordinary human. I can't perform miracles, and I don't have the power to save lives. I became immortal by chance, only to have politicians use me as a symbol of hope for the people. There are no real saints in this world, not like people imagine. That must be very hard for you to hear.
I think he'd rather she not have, like, that kind of faith in him. And acknowledge that, you know, I'm hearing what you're saying. You are, and she's thought it. Like, he seems like any other boy, you know, when you take him away from it all. Because he is, really. Poor Yune. His story always makes me so sad. Hey, he liked that. Good. Saint Yune laid the heavy truth on me as if he were just making small talk. It might not have meant anything to him, but considering I had looked up to him since I was little, it was an awful shock. Yes, a little bit, I said in a quiet voice, unable to hide my surprise. Saint Yune just giggled.
Yes, that's the appropriate reaction. I'm sorry if my reckless words have disillusioned you. But I don't take any of it back. You're someone who knows about the world beyond the heights. I want you to understand.
Thanks, Yune. We get to see the depths before the flood.
I witnessed the Great Flood firsthand. There are plenty of historical records and witness testimonies that remain, but only one person alive today was actually there, and that's me. Not even anyone in Cainabel can say that. I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm only human. I just happen to have a machine keeping me alive. Even so, as history unfolded, I made the choice to live as a saint, and serve as a symbol of hope for the people. I've been walking that same endless path ever since. But you're different. One day you'll stop and disappear from my world forever. That's exactly why it's important to leave something behind, for future generations. We can't alter the way things are done in this country. We can either accept it or let it be. But how you feel about that, and how you live your life, is up to you. I sincerely hope this journey will leave a positive impact on you, Cyrus.
You're saying I can learn something from King Jevite stepping down?
Not just from this. We keep learning until the day we die. I have a feeling you're going to make the Heights a better place one day. Though unfortunately I have nothing to base that on. I will keep lighting the way until your final step, so please stay on the path you believe in. For me, Cyrus.
The path I believe in. In that case, I'll work hard to be a light for you as well, Saint Yune.
For me?
Yes. After all, if you're only human, you're bound to have worries and troubles of your own in the future. And when that happens, I want to be your strength. It doesn't feel right to have you do all the work.
Wow. It makes me happy to hear you say that. Alright. I promise to rely on you too, when the time comes. Thank you, Cyrus.
Oh, that whole conversation made me so sad. Another Yune perspective. Yune, I love you so much for that. Talking about when, like, she'll just stop one day reminded me of that one bad ending where they went their separate ways. He had, like, a special dispensation put in that she did not have to marry, and she was just teaching kids and stuff. And then she got old, and he went to visit her on the day she died. I was like, ugh, Yune's bad endings messed me up so much in the original. They were so sad. It just brought all of that back. Anyway, Yune, what you got for me?
You want to be my strength, huh? Many people have promised me that over the years, but all of them have died and left me behind. One day you will die too. Everybody does eventually. Even so, it still makes me happy to know that someone cares about me. The feelings welling up inside me were a reminder that I was still human. As I suffered loss after loss over the course of eternity, I worried I might eventually lose my heart too. That's why I have to leave behind something of value before it disappears forever. I can take the pain that comes from great loss and turn it into strength. I don't know how many people I'll be able to help, but I choose to embrace my pain and forge onward.
Good old Yune. Kind of people in this world kind of lucked out with Yune being the saint. That stone could have picked like a really nasty person. Yune's just a little chaotic, but otherwise, he's pretty good. He takes his role seriously. Hello, Ines. I'll be more careful. Okay, I'll bring you guys in when Yune shows up again. Okay, Yune's gonna do one of his super awesome protection CGs, so I thought I'd start here. I don't want to do the entire Khalsar Jereme conversation, because we'll save that for Jereme's route, but Yune's got his special CG, so we gotta do this.
Don't you understand? No country opposes Grendel and survives. Yours is no different. That may be, but I refuse to give this country up without a fight. I do not care about things like love, things which I have never known. Even if we are connected by blood, Cainabel is my birthplace. And as for your treaty, history has shown that any nation which signs it is ultimately swallowed up by the Grendel Empire. Cainabel will not surrender to your savage lust for power. Now be gone at once. What did you say? Have I not made myself clear? Then perhaps if I speak in Grendel's tongue. Ilya uiska vasis. You bastard, I'll kill you! King Jereme!
Yeah! Perfect. Excellent. We got this. In all his glory.
Whew. Just in the nick of time. You were ready for the third act that time, right, Eltcreed?
Indeed. Sorry I wasn't able to come up with a more fitting signal.
It's alright. I gathered that I should be ready in case something happened. That's why I was able to concentrate. Just to be sure, is the king alright?
Me?
I'm perfectly fine. Hey. What's going on here? Who is this boy? It would take too long to explain, and this really isn't the time or place for it. I could do more than just the arm if I wanted. I could blow off all 4 of his limbs, or reduce him to nothing but ash. Wouldn't it be in your best interest to leave quietly? Is this really worth your lives?
Got him.
Gah, it's the devil himself.
What about the injured man, your majesty?
I don't care! Just deal with him!
After hesitating for a moment, 2 of Khalsar's men hoisted the injured soldier onto their shoulders and departed. A chill wind blew in through the open door.
That was some impressive work, Saint Yune.
I'm sure they had never seen such a display before. You'd be stunned too if you weren't anticipating it. Oh, now I understand. The reason you always have someone stationed close to you but not too close. It isn't to protect you. It's to keep others from touching you, isn't it?
Hey, you figured that out fast.
Because I was the closest to what happened. The moment his blade made contact, the man's entire arm expanded and then burst, moving from his fingers up to his shoulder. Why it reacted that way is a mystery. But I suppose the cause is trivial compared to the result. You're awfully calm considering what you just witnessed. Most people are at least shaken. Some even faint.
You're obviously brave. You wouldn't have picked a fight with those men otherwise. I happen to have an explosive temper myself, but I've never started a war before. It looks like you're in for a tough battle, King Jereme.
Alright, and with that, we shall fast forward again. Alright, fast forward through that. Get the whole background. You two. You two.
Ines.
Ines. Alright, I'll allow it. Gotta get a distraction in there. It's gotta happen at some point.
Pardon me, Cyrus. How is your packing going?
I'm ready to leave at a moment's notice. Except, I'm not happy about it. Leaving them in the state. It's like we're abandoning them. I know their problems are their own, but I still can't accept it. Are we really doing the right thing?
It isn't our place to decide whether it's right or not. The king ordered us to leave, and we've been begging him to let us. It seems we all want the same thing, so what's the problem? That isn't an answer.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. As long as it doesn't happen on duty. Well, I guess providing security here is part of our duties, though. I asked because I wanted to know what you thought, Cyrus. If silence is your answer, then I accept that.
What about you, Sir Ines? What do you think of all this? Forget about your rank and privilege for a moment.
I think we should go with the flow. I'm not invincible. My skin will break if pierced, and a deep enough wound will kill me. I'm also not a hero. I have no experience fighting in this sort of terrain, and I would be useless in a free-for-all.
In other words, we abandon them.
I don't see it that way. It's arrogance to think you can take on a whole army single-handed. Or that's how I justify it to myself, anyway. In this world, the right thing isn't always the best thing. Maybe because of our age difference, I tend to treat you like a student. But you're an adult. Adults have to exercise restraint and maintain civility. They're also free to choose their own paths, though. Of course, it isn't always easy. Actions come with consequences. Sometimes you ruffle feathers. If you fail, you'll be criticized, even ridiculed. But still, even then, if you cannot yield, if you've made up your mind, then you should draw your sword. You don't need anyone's permission for that. However, if you're just looking to throw a tantrum, you should keep it to yourself. It won't do anything to change your situation. It will only make the people around you uncomfortable. It isn't just you. All of us are praying for this country's survival.
I see. Perhaps I've been too naive. Thank you for the advice, Sir Ines.
Anytime, Cyrus. Never stop wondering, never stop questioning, never stop learning. That's how you grow as a person.
Right. I'll try to organize my thoughts and see how I really feel. I nodded slowly, processing his words. He was absolutely right. What I wanted was to help, to do something, but anyone could wish for that. They were just hollow words, cheap and without substance. So what can I actually do? How can I avert disaster? I was just one person with a sword. In the event of an actual battle, I would probably be too preoccupied with protecting myself to worry about saving anyone else. No matter how things played out, I was just too powerless on my own. It's so frustrating. I gotta say, Ines, as far as distractions go, I really enjoyed that little side convo you two had about that. It was very you two. But, yeah. Very in character for the both of you, but I don't know, it was just very clever, like the way it was all laid out. I really liked it.
I'm too young to be preaching to others. My words to Cyrus had partly been a warning for myself. I would have gladly stayed behind if there was anything I could do to help. But that was a big if. A single soldier is meaningless unless he can coordinate seamlessly with his unit. I can just picture myself getting in the way. And besides, my duty is to safeguard the expedition. That has to be my top priority even still. Age may hone a person's skills and knowledge, but it also blunts their courage. I envy your recklessness, Cyrus.
Yeah, it was good. It was like, he's been around long enough to be like, okay, let's be rational about this, but they both have the same drive to be like, but justice and protection and doing what's right. So, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, and this is new. Huzzah. I followed Sir Ines out into the living area where Saint Yune and Eltcreed were already waiting. All that was left was to reunite with the advance party. Hello. Hey. Ulrik! Adage! Huh? Where's Finn?
Dead.
What? He died. Don't worry about it. Hi, Finn. As much as I enjoy them bullying Finn. Interesting, so now she's referencing that conversation with Ines. Very cool. I'm still torn on these like extra scenes that get added in after finishing the guy's route, but I do like it in this instance, for sure. I know what Sir Ines told me, but is it really okay for us to leave them like this? And, okay, so now we're back. Are we gonna hang out with Yune for this fight, or what's going on?
Cyrus.
I turned to meet Sir Ines's gaze. His eyes were filled with wariness and confusion. There was an awkward silence. Did I miss a bit of context there? Ah, she said, I don't want to leave Cainabel. Gotcha.
If you're just looking to throw a tantrum, you should keep it to yourself. It won't do anything to change your situation, and it will just make things uncomfortable for the people around you.
His words echoed in my heart. Even so. I'm sorry, Sir Ines. I just can't give up like this. The words sprang from my lips. At that same moment, it felt like a massive weight had been lifted, because I was listening to my heart. I've grown connected to the people of this country. I can't just sit back and watch it fall. It wasn't a complete solution to the problem, but at least I had an answer now. I didn't want to abandon this place. I didn't want to just disappear without doing something.
I'm not going to say anything. Please continue.
Sir Ines's response was firm, but I also sensed a degree of understanding in his voice. I was grateful that he at least didn't reprimand me. I pray that this act will amount to something. I wished fervently to myself as I forced my next words out. I became a police officer to help the weak. My oath was to the people of the Heights, which I understand doesn't have anything to do with this situation. Still, I don't want to just stand by and do nothing. I can't leave this country to be destroyed.
Cyrus.
Hear, hear. That's exactly why you're my Cyrus.
Yours?
Whoops, did I say that out loud?
Alright, we got the pasta music. Fast forward again. I like that. That was great. I like that little extra we got from that scene.
First, I want Finn and Heine to help as many people as they can in town while taking out the enemy's advance party.
I don't disagree, but could you elaborate a little more? How do we tell friend from foe?
Indeed. It hardly seems sporting, but if I were the enemy, I would dress all my men like Cainabel civilians as camouflage. Anyway, I'm sure you'll figure it out somehow. After all, you're police officers. You're used to picking out suspicious-looking civilians.
Maybe in the Heights, but not here.
Must you start with your whining already? We haven't even begun yet.
Fine, I'll do it.
Yes, that look in your eyes is perfect. It's downright chilling. Now next is Adage.
I'll provide medical support, which is to say that's all I'm willing to agree to.
Aw, I was hoping to cast you as a cheerleader. I'll bet you've got a great singing voice.
You would be wrong. I'm terrible at singing. I'm a doctor. I treat patients. If you try to make me do anything else, I'll sew your mouth shut.
Is that new? Or have I just forgotten? Because that's great.
Please don't. I would wither and die without the use of my voice. Fine, fine, whatever you say, Mr. Doctor. Next is Ulrik. He and I are going to be working together, thank goodness.
What's there to be thankful for? Get out of here. You're so annoying.
Now, don't be like that. I've come up with a special plan just for the two of us.
A special plan?
Yes, I'll fill you in on the details later. Last are Saint Yune and Cyrus.